project of Africa. Whether na north or whether na south, whether na east or whether na west, we do our best, to bring the change in everywhere. Whether na Niger, whether na Ghana, whether na Saudi, I be Uganda, we do our best,
A boy child is a male human. Then a street boy child are male children that are found on the street. They're normally on the street, they are poor, they lack clothes and all.
So the boy child basically is what you have as a girl child too, a young person between the age of say 12 to 17 who is not an adult yet and cannot really cater for himself. So then there is this thing they call the street boy child. I'm from the north, and here we know them as the almajiris, and most times they are vulnerable persons in the community that do not have access to so much. They are not educated, they have no basic amenities amongst themselves, and most times they end up being more like street hawkers or beggars or something, and they be like more of nuisance to the community around here in the north.
Male child is, or a boy child is a male child. A street boy child, they are children that are on the street. They are being exposed to the hazard nature of the street.
Na farko da aka ce yaro na kowa ne. So akwai wani yanayi da ke sa iyayen yara ba ta iya kula da yaransu. Yara suka fi karfin su wurin kula da su, hakan ke sa aga wani namijin ma yakan bar gida ba tare da san matsalolin yaran shi ba. So su kuma iyayenmu suna da rauni, muskan iyayensu domin su da sun kula da iyayensu, wato mu kenan. So hakan yakan fi karfin su har suke kai ga su tura yaransu yin like aiki a waje. Wasu kuma sukan tura yaransu almajiranci like karatu kuma so baka san yaronka da zai hadu ba a waje. Yaron ka bar gida yana da hali mai kyau ya fita waje, so ya kamata ka fara sanin a yana ke kwana, sannan me yake yi, yaya lafiyarsa take, sannan karatun ma da yake yi shi karatun yana yi koko baya yi.
A boy child is a person who's like age from 2 to 5 years. So at that age, the boy, there are so many things what she needs from the parents and guidance. So at that, they make his life to be better.
The boy child is the male gender that the society have defined as the figure, normally. Yeah. A street boy child is, from a layman's understanding, is that boy who does not have the adequate parental guidance he needs, and also somebody who is just thrown off in the street, who tends to fend for himself on a daily basis.
Being a street boy child is different from being an average boy child in the sense that it makes you grow faster than your mates. That means they have to hustle for themselves. They have to go extra miles in order to eat, in order to be safe, and they are being exposed to a lot of things that they should not be exposed to.
Bangaren babu abinci ko kuma iyayensu wasu sun gaji da su ne suke turo su domin su ga sun maza da kusa da su saboda su ma ba su da abin da za su ba su.
Ko kuma sun je neman kuɗi wanda ba su ne kuma a ce su tafi wannan aikin ba. Suna da iyaye, yana da mahaifi, yana da mahaifiya. So alakin shi da na mahaifiyar shi ya rasa akan wuyan baban shi ne, mahaifin shi. So amma ga yanzu iyayenmu muna da lafiya akan cewa ne ya'yanmu su za su nemo kuɗi su kawo mana muna zaune. Which is wrong, wanda zai kai mu ga wani hali yaron ya tafi bai samu kuɗi ba. Number one, yunwa zai mai yawa, tunanin zai mai yawa, zai fa tunanin ya za a yi in bai samu ba in ka aje kanka zai ɗauka.
Ya makarantar mu mun dai zamu ce mun gode ma Allah, amma wani zubin gaskiya ana ɗan yin mugunta. Da asuba za a taso mu yi karatu, wanda bai zo ba da safe za a kira shi a zane shi. In a zane shi sannan ya kama karatu, in kuma bai zo wuri da daddare ba za a bari bayan an dake shi nan ma sannan a ce ya zauna sai ya rama wuri din. Sannan kuma in ba kawo abinci ba nan ma za a zane ka a ce ka koma. Sannan kuɗin mutu nan ma an baka bada ba za a daki mutum. Yanzu yau kwanan nan an ba mu mutu za mu tafi ƙauye, kowa 2,200 kowane aka ce ya kawo.
The challenges a street boy child faces is that I feel all the weathers affect them, both rainy season, hot weather, because they're always on the street. The thing is that because of what our society has done to, a lot of people are scared that you can help these children and they'll turn something else tomorrow. So I feel like that's why a lot of people don't help them.
The challenge is that most street boy children or street boys face mostly is that most of them are not educated. Most of them do not have the liberty for basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter. We all know how the street is. The street is like a jungle, and it's not really good for children to be exposed to that hazard nature at an early age.
He runs from house to house in search of food, runs from street to street in search for a hustle that will pay him so he could afford to get some clothes, and then runs from place to place, bridge to bridge, just for shelter. So that's actually some basic challenges about boy child.
One way we can solve this issue of the street boy child is proper sensitization, where families, indigent families, get to know that it is not just about giving birth to children, but they should plan. There should be more of like proper planning so that we can reduce the populace. Not just about giving birth to these children. How do you cater for them? How do you bring them? How do you integrate them into the community? How do they become of value? How do they become asset to the community and all?
My take is that I feel that family planning should be taught to parents, because most parents, I don't think a parent intentionally wants to do this, but when you keep on having children and are not able to meet up to their needs, you expose them to these things. So I feel like family planning should be taught. I feel that we as individuals should try our best to help a child. I think if one person decides to help one child, and we keep doing that, it's going to actually improve. You can help them by getting them slippers, to getting them books. They're not really expensive. I feel as an individual, you owe the community, if you are comfortable enough, to provide for children that you see that are in need.
My take is that everyone out there should see them as their own blood, like your family or your younger one that you should help. Not like you see them like they are not part of us, they are also humans like us.
We are calling on the government and people who have the opportunity to support to come into them and see how they can pay back or how they can provide a suitable solution in giving them this hospitality.
I also feel that the government should provide an institution for displaced boys that are on the street without parents or guidance, or boys that are not being able to, that are not well protected. The government should be a shield for that.
It's just basically in the heads of people that these are male, these are boys, they will take care of themselves and then these boys tend to go and be the tools for the menace we're having in the society actually today. So for me, I guess it's best if we pay more attention to the boy child, and that will not just help cultivate the boy child to have a future, but rather if we help the society in general and reduce the rate of crimes entirely.
We do our best to bring the change in everywhere we are. TAPA, changing the world, grooming the boy child, uplifting the man. To be the change, it needs to be TAPA,